Oh, that's better. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a while. I know. I'm sorry. Seriously, I really am sorry about that. Before we get back into RC Overload Tuesdays here, I want to give you guys kind of a rundown of what's been going on in the past couple of weeks. For those of you guys that thought I may have ended my show or disappeared, that's not the case whatsoever. Matter of fact, I had just everything else in life just take up my time and unfortunately not be able to make videos for you. As the way this year seems to be going, that seems to be the theme, is just there's not enough time for anything this year. And anything that can come up last minute will come up. So what's been kind of going on the past few weeks? Well, since I made that Proline Racing Pro 2 on-road video, I had this other idea of start doing some more street videos. I was going to take the Pro MT out, do some bashing videos, take the Secure D4 like you guys have been asking, make some drift videos with that. That was my goal for that following week, was to do that. However, that was also just before July 4th. Had some family parties that I had to go do. I had to get my backyard all straightened up and whatnot for a party and everything like that. So that took up my time for a few days, and unfortunately I just didn't get around to really making a video. So I figured, alright, I'll skip this week. No big deal, right? It's not the end of the world. My viewers won't care. Then the following week came, and I came down with a severe sinus infection. In the middle of summer, of all times. The summertime is when I'm supposed to get the most relief from my sinuses, and of course, because of the way the weather has been this year, I haven't been able to get any relief. So I had a sinus infection that has now lasted me close to 3 weeks, pretty much. I am finally on antibiotics for it, and it's starting to go away, but as you guys can hear, I'm still a little hoarse from it. I no longer have the head pressure or anything like that, so I can focus on making videos. So, that's a plus. But that's what happened the following week. I just, no energy, tired, constantly hurting, so I didn't make a video, you know? No sense in making a video when I'm not feeling good. And then last week, I just got so caught up doing other videos for clients and whatnot that I just didn't have time for this. So speaking of client videos, as some of you guys know, I did start up my own company called 162 Media Productions, right? Basically, for those of you guys that don't know what I do, it's my own business. I run it, just like on the show here. It runs the show RC Overload as a side thing, but my main focal point is making videos right now for clients, which could be anything from a business promotion to a product promotion, to anything that they can think of. I make videos, edit it, and send it to them and so forth. But I also am going to start getting into some photography as well. Try to expand a little bit more. I've been making a couple of basic websites using, you know, service providers like Wix. You know, just building something for them because they don't know how to do it, so I'm doing that for them. Setting them up on Google Business, getting their social media accounts all set up, straightforward, updated, using some techniques that I've learned over the past 4 years doing this. Yeah, just kind of helping promote them. And I've been working on 2 very big clients lately that have required basically everything that I'm doing. Website, social media, Google updates, videos, and pictures, all for them to help grow and promote their stuff and get found easier on Google and so forth like that. So that's kind of what I'm starting to do, is do those kind of things, and it's been going really, really great. I'm super excited about it, that it's actually taking off the way it is. I figured it would take me forever to get my first client, but no, my first client came basically when I decided to start doing this. So I'm just finishing up now my other client, which is actually an antique store. They changed their name, they got new ownership, and they just wanted a better way to have themselves found online and just kind of promote themselves. So that's what I'm doing with them. So I've been doing that. I've been super busy with all that. I have like 4 other people that have, you know, talked to me that want me to do stuff similar for them over the next several weeks, months, and so forth. So things have been going great. I didn't actually expect it to be going as good as it is now. Am I making a lot of money? Hell no, because I'm still an amateur at what I do. But it's going to hopefully lead into something in the future that will ultimately be my full-time job, be my main job. Though I'm making a decent amount of money from the stuff that I'm doing now, I'm still an amateur. I don't even think that I can compare against most other production companies because of the lack of knowledge, the years of experience, and so forth. But hey, we all got to start somewhere, and I'm enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. I've been able to learn more about my video techniques, taking pictures, websites and stuff like that, better practices and whatnot. So, which has also led me into what's going on here? Which has also led me into thinking maybe I should start up a second YouTube channel. But why would I do that when I don't even have enough time to put into my first YouTube channel? So I'm toying the ideas right now. The second channel would strictly be about filmmaking, photography, website, YouTube, social media, and stuff like that. Tips and tricks to help you guys out, and so forth. Because I know a lot of the viewers that watch my show are video creators themselves here on YouTube. You guys make videos for your own YouTube channel and stuff, and I've had people ask me all the time, what gear do I use, how do I do this, and so forth. So I think maybe once in a while to make a video of how I go about doing things might be cool. And since RC Overload is just strictly RC, and this is going to be about filmmaking, they're two totally separate things, and good practice would be to start up another channel instead of combining them, because I don't want to bore just the people that are here for the channel just for the RCs. I want to, you know, keep things kind of separate for that. So, those are some things that have been going on the past few weeks. It's been crazy. It's been hectic. No, I didn't disappear. I'm not done with my channel. Heck no. I'm just right now trying to figure out how to schedule for the best way possible. So, now that I got you guys all caught up, I'm going to answer like 3 or 4 questions today on RC Overload Tuesdays to get you guys back up and squared away. I do plan on taking the Proline Pro MT out here this week for Friday's episode. I'm still trying to do at least 2 videos a week. Tuesday's episode, which is super easy for me to film. It only takes me a couple hours to film, edit, and get it ready for you guys. So I'm going to continue doing Tuesday's episodes as long as you guys keep asking me questions. Alright, so RC Overload Tuesdays, answer some of your questions that you guys have been asking. Yeah, okay. Here's a question. Do you think the new Pit Bull Rock Beiste 1.9 XL tires are worth the price they are, like $40 for a set of 2? I like the way they look, but kind of skeptic to purchase them. What's up, Lil Conan? I think you've asked quite a few questions on the show already. Been kind of popular on here. As far as the Rock Beiste, I personally have not run the Rock Beiste tires. I haven't actually ever had a chance to run Pit Bull tires. As much as I want to, I have heard nothing but good things about Pit Bull tires. Anybody that runs them just swears by them. I have seen those tires. I have heard, again, some awesome reviews on those tires. They seem to do very well, and if I ever get my hands on them, I would love to test them out. $40 for a set is actually about average nowadays for tires. I mean, especially when you look at Proline tires, for instance, they're right around the same price. It's not like one company's selling a set of tires for $80 and the other one's selling them for $20, and they're almost the same exact type of tire. Everybody's kind of within the same price range. So as far as being concerned if they're too much money, I wouldn't look at that. I would actually go and watch some videos using the similar terrain that you're in, that you're going to be running, and just visually see how well it works. And if you have questions as far as what they're running with those tires, just ask them, hey, what motor are you running? What gearing are you running? What battery are you running? What kind of foams do you have in it? Because all of that, along with the weight of the vehicle, does take into an effect on how well a set of tires are really going to work. Now, tires will work in general on their own very well, depending on the tread pattern, the type of rubber, and so forth. But again, all of those other aspects of the gearing, the motor, the battery, the weight, do they have weighted wheels? Is it aluminum wheels versus plastic wheels? All of that is going to take into effect as far as how good that tire is going to work. So while it may work great on one vehicle's setup, it may not work as great as another tire would on somebody else's setup. So that's usually what I do when I'm trying to figure out what tire, or if something's going to work well for me. And I'm not sure, I've never played around with it, or I just don't have enough time to test it out, and I'm trying to make a video or something like that for whatever instance. I will look at YouTube videos and be like, alright, I'm looking at this type of tire. Where are they running? Okay, that's desert, 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 no. Forest. Ooh, Forest, they're running that tire. What is it? Okay. Awesome, cool. Now, what setup are you running? And so forth. And I'll ask him that, so that way I can get an idea as far as, is it similar to mine? Or is it not? How is it going to compare and so forth? This was more of just like how to go about looking into that, as, again, I haven't been able to test out Pit Bull tires. I would, again, love to test them out, to try them out. I think they're going to do amazing. I just never had the opportunity to do that. So, hopefully that kind of answers that for you a little bit. I have a question. When do you think you'll be able to run your boat? Hopefully soon. I have been itching to take that thing out like crazy. Unfortunately, again, it's weather related. This past week, I mean, it rained like 4 days out of the 7, and I wasn't able to take anything out even if I wanted to. We've had so much rain that there's actually, in places, there's mold building up in the dirt because of the amount of rain that we've had. It's insane. Usually by this time of the year, you'll notice in places, especially where I live, the grass starts turning a little brown because there's not enough water, and the sun's just burning it away. No, everything is like extremely friggin' green. There's vines and everything growing like crazy. I almost feel like it's the damn jungle around here. But it's been a little more on the cooler side. There's not been a lot of humidity, so things have definitely been a lot stranger this year as far as weather goes. We've had insane winds almost every single day. Actually, speaking of which, today I'm looking outside at the trees, and there's maybe not even a 5-mile-an-hour breeze. So this is definitely a rare day. Usually with where I live, because I'm more out in the ocean on Cape Cod, we tend to get a lot more of the breeze and stuff, so it makes things a little bit harder, creates more waves, makes it not as much fun, because you're constantly fighting, trying not to tip over the boat, hitting the waves. You really can't go full speed. Same with flying and so forth. So the weather really has kept me from not being able to do that. We, again, average anywhere between 10 to 15 mile-an-hour winds every single day, sometimes more, up around 25, 30. So it really hinders what it is that I can do, and this year has been the worst I have seen it in years, which really sucks. But, I don't know, maybe this afternoon I might be able to take it out if I can find a pond that isn't overly swarmed with tourists and whatnot, because half these beaches, I can't even get onto it without having a beach pass, which costs like $100 or so, and no offense, I'm not paying $100 considering I live here. I should be able to use the ponds, but they want to charge you just to be $100 for a parking permit to be able to use the ponds and the lakes and the beaches and so forth around here during the summertime. After 5 o'clock, it's whatever, but that's when all the locals come out and they go and use it because they're not paying for it either. So it becomes very difficult to find time to do that kind of stuff around here. Fall, spring, and winter is the best times. Winter, it's a little harder because it's freezing cold, but yeah, anyways, I promise we will get it out soon. Maybe I'll do it this afternoon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It all depends. What do you think is the best way to get water out of wheels? There's a few different ways of doing it. It depends on the wheels you have, right? Let's say you bought a set of wheels, just a basic set of wheels, like, I don't know, bashing wheels for your Stampede or something like that. Most wheels actually have holes in the rims themselves. One of the ways I've done it is I just squeeze the tire and let the water keep coming out. But if it gets to a point where water, you have those types of wheels and the water is still not draining out, I usually will, it's kind of a toss-up. If I have the cash, I'll just go and get a new set of wheels. I try not to run my wheels in water because of this, because it does make things very difficult to get it out of it. I'll usually just go and get another set of wheels or something like that. But if it really comes down to it and you're trying to save it, best thing to do is to take the tire off the rim. Now, if they're glued on there from the factory or you glued them on, you can throw them in an oven. I'm not sure what the temperature is. I've done this once. It's been so long, where it softens up the glue. You can then pull the rubber right off the rim without any damage. Get in there, let it all dry out. Usually, if you let water sit in the wheel for too long, it's gonna ruin the foams. They're not gonna be any good. So you're gonna have to replace the foams, which at that point, that's why I say I usually tend to just go and get another wheel, set of tires or so forth. I know it's not financially feasible for everybody, absolutely not. But another trick would be to add in a couple of little pinholes, little tiny holes in the tire. I've heard this done before. I've never done it, but you poke little holes into the rubber, again, squishing it out as much as you can. But you're now destroying the tire, which, especially if you're bashing it and you're, going hard on these tires, they're eventually going to tear in those spots that you made the holes. So again, you're going to need to replace the wheel. I would just say try to avoid water. Unless you have beadlock wheels where you can easily take the tire right off of it, avoid water. It's just as simple as that. Either that or just be prepared to just have to disassemble the whole thing right after your run to get it all dried out. That would be the easiest way. I mean, if you have beadlocks, of course, easy. Take it all apart, pull everything out, no big deal. Just squeeze it out as much as you possibly can and just ride those wheels out as long as you can. That would be my best recommendation. I'm sure somebody might have another tip or trick. Feel free, you guys, to post that down in the comment box below. I encourage that. It's not just me answering questions. It can be you guys as well. So, that's what I would say to do. Hey, I'm not sure if somebody asked before, but do the SCX-10 2 parts fit on the OG SCX-10 since the old parts fit the new truck? I figured I can probably build my SCX-10 into an SCX-10 2 by swapping parts. What do you think? Sorry, I'm actually talking to Brett right now. By the way, I'm sure he says hi. So, the SCX-10 2 and SCX-10. Yes, you could swap parts vice versa, absolutely. Both trucks are basically the exact same truck. They utilize the same wheelbase as far as the 12.3-inch wheelbase goes. The transmissions are different. All the parts are kind of different between the two, but as far as fitment and size-wise, they will interchange between them, which makes it awesome. You could take your old SCX-10, upgrade it with a whole bunch of new SCX-10 2 stuff, and it'll work fine. Some stuff from the SCX-10 2 will need to be used with SCX-10 2 parts, especially if you get the newer LCG transmission setup. It's going to need to use that new skid plate in the middle. Stuff like that, you're going to need to use SCX-10 2 parts. But again, they can swap vice versa. It's really not a problem. I haven't heard anybody say that this part won't fit versus this part won't. Everything seems to work between it. I haven't really seen any new parts specifically say they're for SCX-10 2 only. Again, I actually haven't really looked around much. I've been kind of busy the past few weeks. But as far as I can tell from comparing my two trucks, which I do have a comparison video a little bit, everything looks like they will swap together. You can use the axles, you can use the braces. The frames are basically the same. The skid plates can be swapped. But as far as I can tell, everything can swap over from each other. Alright guys, well that's it for today. I know this is probably a little bit of a longer video. Again, I'd rather tell you guys what's going on. Communication. Keep you guys updated with stuff. That's always been my #1 thing with anything I do in life, is just communication, letting people know what's going on. I think it's the best thing in the world. So, yeah, sorry again, that was kind of long. Sorry I kind of disappeared for a little while, but this isn't going to be the last time. It's going to happen. And with the way this year's been going, I have no idea from one week to the next what's going on. But I will try my very hardest to continue making videos every single week for you guys. And if there's ever a question of why a video didn't come out, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram or even Twitter or something, I have no problem answering it. I do the best that I can between my schedule and everything else like that. So, if you guys are interested in seeing what I'm doing as far as with 162 Media Productions, I'll post some links down to my Facebook page and Instagram. And post them down below. If you guys think I should actually make a second YouTube channel, just posting once in a great while, maybe once a week or once every other week or something like that, and you guys want to learn some filming tips that I use or things that I've learned or gear that I'm using, feel free to let me know, and maybe it'll push me to get that started. So, but for now, you guys, thanks so much for watching as usual. Don't forget to hit me up on my typical Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you're subscribed. And that's it, you guys. So until next week, well, or until Friday. I'll just say Friday. Yeah, until Friday. I'll see you guys on the next RC Overload. Later. I sure do love me coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee.